The following feature has been rated R by the Motion Picture Association of America. This indicates that the film contains mature material. Parents may wish to consider whether it should be viewed by children under 17. For further information concerning this feature, please consult your HBO guide. Home Box Office will show this feature only at night.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah?
This is 476 Barbarian, right?
Yeah, I'm renting this place.
No, I booked it a month ago.
Are you sure you have the right place?
Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
Why don't you come inside, and we'll call these idiots. Why don't you just crash here?
Oh, no.
I don't know if you got a great look at this neighborhood, but I don't think you should be out there by yourself. It's dry and there's a lock on the door. By the way, I'm Keith.
Tess.
You take the bedroom, and I'll sleep out here on the couch.
God. Keith?
This process might seem overwhelming, but with a little practice, it can soon become a pleasurable experience. This is perfectly natural.
It's the 10th year of my movie month. 30 movies, 30 days. Movie month, 30 podcasts, 30 days. Movie month, 30 movies, 30 days, 30 podcasts. It's year 10.
It's 8:27 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I have not watched my movie yet. I'm not even 100%. Oh, no, I do know what movie I'm watching today. But I haven't watched it yet. I just finished grocery shopping, and now I'm sitting in my car waiting for my mother-in-law, who is in the grocery store. We took a drive this morning, picked her up at 7:30, took a drive to find out where her groomer is for her dog. And then we shot up 28 in Salem, New Hampshire, Route 28, to one of the market baskets. I didn't have my headphones, so I didn't get to listen to a podcast. I thought we were going to shop together, but she said, okay, I'll meet you. I was like, oh, perfect, great. So I can go off and do my own thing. Finished, and then I found her in produce, and I said, hey, I'm all done, no rush. I'm going to go check out. And now it's just kind of, I play the waiting game. Hopefully the frozen foods and produce that I have will all stay fresh in the amount of time. And I can see the door from here, and I just don't know how long it will be. But I wanted to record and say, hello, this is how my Sunday started yesterday. Hey, when do you go grocery shopping? Oh, usually really early, like 7:30. Do you think I could tag along with you and just kind of see where this new market is? Even though she's driven here a couple times. And I said, sure. I tried to be like, well, how about I come back and go shopping with you later? It worked out better this way. And then I was like, wait, I shouldn't be trying to just make this worse. Let's just avoid this and double dip. Let's just do this all at once. But now, oh, she's here.
This movie was really more of a Mother's Day movie than a Father's Day movie, but happy Father's Day, everybody, and happy June 18th, which means for the 18th day in a row, I've watched a movie I've never seen, and for the 18th day in a row, I am here podcasting about it, and ooh, baby, this is, I loved this movie from T to B, from top to bottom. I watched the 2022 film Barbarian, and I had no idea what to expect from it. Like, nothing. And the fact is that this guy who directed it, his name is Zach Kreger. I don't know this guy, but when I saw him, I'm like, wait a minute, is he an actor? He looks really familiar, and apparently he's acted in a bunch of things, and he was even in this movie as Everett. Who the hell was Everett? I don't remember ever seeing it, unless that was one of the cops or something. I don't know. But this guy, yeah, he was on a sitcom. He was on a couple TV shows. And what has he directed? He's directed a bunch of things. Looks like some comedy stuff. And then, I don't know what Newsboys is. It was a TV series. And then, out of nowhere, boom, Barbarian. What? Written by, directed by this guy. I'm like, okay, I'm completely in on whatever this guy makes going forward. This movie was like, I don't even know what to say. It was so good. I didn't know what to expect from it. I knew it was like, this is a scary movie. And I saw, friends were texting saying, oh, it's the movie about the Airbnb. And I was like, well, I don't even want to know that. I don't even want to know that. But it's in the description of the movie that you see when you're actually, like when you put it. I watched it on Max, on HBO Max, and then I start watching it. I'm like, okay, it's an Airbnb movie. There's this this young woman who I don't know, and oh my god, I just read a credit for one of the characters in this movie. Now, I'm spoiling it, so you've seen this. If you haven't seen it, it's on Max right now. It's on HBO or Max or whatever the hell you call it. I would suggest watching it before coming back. And this goes to all millions and millions of you out there. Because I'm from here on out, here we go. So it's a girl, a young woman who's in town for a job interview, and everything to me was a suspicious. I was like, is the job interview fake? Was she lured here? All these things. And she goes to a house that is double booked on Airbnb. Has nothing to do with like that was actually true. There was no suspicion. Nothing was fake or falsified. She double books this Airbnb. Bill Skarsgård is already there, best known as Pennywise in the It movies, and he was a producer on this movie, so maybe he helped actually get this movie made. It went in so many different places that I was not expecting. So the movie, and I'm thinking Justin Long is in this movie, right? He stars in this movie, and it seems like for the first half hour, if not 40 minutes, it's this actress Georgina Campbell, who I don't know at all. Who I'm thinking to myself, is she a? I thought at one point was she Halle Berry's daughter? Like she? Oh, apparently I do know her. I watched her on the show Krypton on Sci-Fi Network. Yes, I did watch that show. Okay, and she is a British. Well, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell at all. I thought she did a wonderful American accent. And she is hanging out. She's there for a job interview. She's there. She accidentally, this place gets double booked by another dude, Bill Skarsgård. Shockingly, she stays the night at this house. And he's like, I'll sleep on the couch. You sleep on the bed. And she was able to lock the door. The first night, creepy, the guy's having like nightmares. Nothing to, like, it's a false, a red herring, whatever you do, whatever it's called. It throws you in one direction. You think it's haunted. You think he has to do with it. Like, it was very creepy. Then she goes on an interview and she talks to the woman and tells her, I'm staying in this area in Detroit, Michigan. And apparently there are just neighborhoods that are completely gone. That are just run down to nothing. And this house, this nice looking house on the outside and on the inside, on the top floors, is completely, it was the only house out of all these wrecks of houses. So she's like, you really shouldn't be staying there. You should get out of there. She gets back to the house and some guy chases her. He's like, young lady, get out here. Now, I forgot about that guy. I forgot completely about him. I thought, okay, there's some craziness going on here. She's looking for toilet paper, and that's when the shit really, I mean, that pun not intended, and it's not even a pun, but when you look for toilet paper in this movie, that's where it all goes downhill from there, because she has to go in the basement to get the toilet paper. In the basement, she gets locked in the basement. I'm thinking, what is going on? At one point, we're going to find Bill Skarsgård. He's going to pop out. We're going to see he's the killer because we can't trust him. We've seen him in enough things. Don't trust him. He's going to kill you. And that was a great casting of putting him in this because he was completely honest in everything he said and everything he did. He was very much like, just a nice guy who was really enjoying his time with her, and it all went downhill from there. So she's in the basement. She sees this rope, pulls this rope, and it reveals a hidden door. And I'm like, okay, time to leave. She says, she starts creeping down the hallway for some reason because she's bored and she's locked in, and curiosity is how horror movies kill people. She gets in there. She sees a room, and in that room, she sees a bed, a bucket, and a video camera from the 1980s, a camcorder. And that is like, okay, red flag 2, time to leave. Let's go. But, and she leaves, and then she comes back. Oh, no, she leaves. She gets the hell out of there. She's trapped in the basement, but then Bill Skarsgård comes home, helps her get out, and she's like, oh, my God, there's something down there. It's a creepy room, and we got to get out of here. He's like, these are old houses. What are you talking about? And everything they were doing was setting you up to think that he was bad. It just made him like, let me go look. Look, you're not making any sense. I'm like, dude, that's like, he's very much trying to... Is that gaslighting? I believe that's the term, gaslighting. Like, it doesn't make any sense. What are you talking about? And we go, he goes down. He goes, let me go look. And then you don't hear anything. And she goes, look. She goes down, doesn't see anything. She goes down the hall again. She's like, Keith, I think his name was Keith, come back. Come on, what are you doing? Nothing. She looks in the room. He's not there. Where the hell is he? And then she notices that end of that wall is another door. And you're like, Jesus, this just keeps going. The door opens to this long staircase into basically dugout caves. And at this point she hears, help. And I'm like, oh my God, he is luring her down here. And she thinks to leave. She thinks better of it, but then she goes to help him because I don't know why. I don't know this person. I would leave forever. And I would be like, oh, what a terrible time. But good luck, buddy, because this isn't right. He's luring her down here. She goes down, and it's like this dark cavern. You've seen the movie. When he pops up, that's the scream. That was the one-time scream. When he came up, he goes, there's something else down there. And then you see all of a sudden this crazy, scary, naked monster lady come up and bash his brains in. And then I thought, oh, it is not, he's not the killer, and this is crazy. And then, boom, the movie changes, and I'm like she screams at the main actress, Tess, the monster screams at her, the monster lady, whatever she is. We don't know what she is yet. Ah! And then boom, it cuts to a sunny California coast, and I'm like, what is going on here? What the hell is this? And then we have Justin Long in a car, and we find out he's an actor. He's an actor who's getting a part with a TV show, and he's doing good. And then boom, he is accused of sexual assault, and all of a sudden his kind of career is starting to go, like people are backing away from him. His financial guy's like, look, this is going to cost you a lot of money. You need to liquidate. You have the properties in Michigan. You have the properties in California. So, and when you say the properties in Michigan, I go, oh, there's the connection. He owns this house in Detroit. And that comes to be the truth. So he's like, I don't want to sell this California house. I'm not going to sell my house. He's thinking he's going to go to Detroit and liquidate there. So he goes back home to where he grew up like a few hours away. And, oh, excuse me. It's tired. It's 10:30 at night. And as you saw, I was up really, really early taking my mother-in-law grocery shopping. But I got to get through this. So he's in town, and we come to find out pretty much that, like he's completely denying everything. And as time goes on, you realize, no, he is, he did exactly what he did, whether it was, whatever he did, it seemed like he raped this girl. Like he forced himself upon her. He coerced her. It doesn't sound like he took no for an answer. And because he was out with his friend, he's like, well, what really did happen? He's like, we did, he said the F word. And it was, she was totally into it. It took some convincing. It took this, but, I'm very, he said, like, I'm very convincing or something like you made it seem like that's when I'm like, okay, any doubt that this guy, because the first thought is, here's a guy who thinks he's on top of the world, and now his career is ruined. And, from someone making an accusation. Well, it's not an accusation. It's someone telling you exactly what happened. And, there's a moment where you go, oh no, like you think, oh, is this guy career ruined because he's being falsely accused? No, that's not the case. His career is ruined because he's a piece of shit. And you learn that later. And you feel it, and you learn it even more later. So you don't feel bad in his final outcome. So he comes back to the house, and he's like, what the hell is all this? Is this stuff in the house? They go, oh, we rented it weeks ago. So you realize it's been weeks since that happened. And he's like, there's someone in my house. He finds a laptop. It says Tess. He's like, who the hell are these people? And he hears a bang in the basement. He's like, what the hell's going on here? He goes downstairs. He goes through the basement, and he follows the whole thing. He sees the door. He goes in. He follows down. He goes all the way down. Well, first he goes into that was the funniest part. He goes into the basement, he goes in and finds the room, and the only thing he's thinking, and it's very funny, it cuts back and he looks up on his laptop where he's like, oh, he's looking up square footage. The dude is so he doesn't even think any of it's weird. He's just excited to have all this property, and he thinks he has all this, like, square footage, and he's all excited about that, so he goes down to measure some more, and something pulls on his measuring tape, I think, there, and then he sees a light, and he finds a room with mattresses and a TV playing like a breastfeeding video, and I'm like, this is getting creepier and creepier. And then that monster lady comes out after him. He falls down into a trap. She puts the cage over him, and then it goes crazy again because you see Tess is alive, she's there, and then boom, we cut back to that same house, but every house is beautiful, and you realize, oh my God, we've gone back in time. And we hear Asia Heat of the Moment. Well, Asia Heat of the Moment came out in 1982. So this is somewhere around that time, because then you find yourself in 82. So it's about that time. That's the lyric from the music. And we see this guy come out of the house, and you realize, okay, this dude, first I thought it was going to be Bill Skarsgård, there was going to be some weird time travel shit. But we find out this dude, we follow this guy into a store. He's picking up plastic sheets and baby stuff, and you're thinking, okay, something to do with like that monster we see is either his kid because it's been 40 years, or his kid, or something, some creepy thing like that. And we don't know exactly the timeline because we actually follow him as he watches a woman. He follows her home. He says, "Oh, I'm from the DW, the power and water. I need to check around your house." And he goes in the house and he leaves without a problem. But he goes into one room and he unlocks the window. And that's how he's going to get in and kidnap this woman. Now, we never see it, but you just assume, later on, you could assume this happened many, many, many times. So we see the guy, go back to his house. His house is kind of messy, but it's 80s. It's still the same house. He opens the basement and you hear someone screaming, and then he closes the basement. Boom. So that's your flashback to, it doesn't tell you directly anything, which I love. That you just see there's a guy who lived there, and he actually you learn about it later, but it's a guy who lives there. He obviously kidnaps women. He obviously impregnates them because he's having a baby, and he is the creep of creeps. So he leads to all this. So we come back to the present, and the lady, the monster lady, wants to feed both of them with milk from a bottle. Then she tries to breastfeed him. She grabs him, drags him into the other room to breastfeed him. That's when Tess tries to leave. How did all this happen? Oh, then he gets away because she chases Tess, right? He gets away. But he goes the wrong way, and he stumbles upon this other room. And there's the really cool scene where the monster lady, I don't know what else to call her, in the credits, it's called The Monster. And here's the best part. Chris, if you're listening to this, the monster is played by Matthew Patrick Davis. You may know him as Kevin, from the Stranger Things episode of Henry Danger. He's like, "I'm Kevin. Why aren't you my friend?" So he's a very thin, wiry guy who can play these incredibly, just creepy characters. So that's now. He never played a Predator, did he? This dude? No, he's best known for. Well, it's funny. He's best known for Barbarian and Henry Danger, and really, what else could you possibly want to be known for except those two things? So, she. Okay, we're back. Good. I almost dropped my recorder. Okay, so she's walking at him at Justin Long. Justin Long is by another door. He found another door. He followed this bell, and Tess escapes. She gets out, and you actually see the woman from the window. Creepy. And the person who was chasing her in the house before is this old, homeless guy who actually helped her. He's like, you gotta leave. You can't be in there. She comes out at night. It's not great. Oh, it's not great. So he helps her escape. And she goes back to find Justin Long and comes up, but she sees he's by that door, and because she's by that door, she backs away, and you realize, oh my God, there's something worse behind that door. Well, he goes into the room, and there's the same dude, Frank, from the beginning. He's hiding down there. He looks like he's dying. And Justin Long's like, what is this? I got to get you out of here. Well, I'll get out of here, and then I'll come back for you. He's always worried about just himself first. And he, just want to make sure I'm still recording. He sees all of a sudden a couple dozen videotapes with different names: woman, redhead, this, that, suicide, fat. I was like, oh my God! So you could see all these are tapes, and he pops a tape in, and you don't see the tape, you just see him looking at it. He's like, "You're a monster. What is this? You're a monster." And he helped bring a little side table over to the guy. The guy pulled the gun out, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Turns the gun on himself, kills himself. I'm like, this is getting crazy. He just wants to die. So now there's a gun. Justin Long has a gun. Well, Tess goes back for Justin Long, goes in, gets down, and you see the flashlight coming. You're like, oh, good, they found each other. And she goes, hello? And boom, you hear a gunshot. And I thought she had a bullet in her head. I thought she was dead. I said, Jesus Christ. In fact, multiple times I thought she was dead. I thought she was dead before we cut to Justin Long. I thought she was dead now. He helps her up. He's like, come on. Oh, my God. I can't believe I did this. Come on. He gets out, and they end up finding the homeless guy before. He brings them in because he said, I'm by this water area tank. Brings him in, and he's like, he says, you may own the papers of that house. He's like, what I own this house. And the guy's like, you may own the papers of this house, but that guy's never left there. He's been there forever. And he's been abducting women and keeping them down there, having babies and having babies with babies, and the babies are having babies, and basically cross-breeding, inbreeding until you get her. And it's funny, they're like, we need to get her to a hospital. He's like, no, don't worry, she'll survive the night. And then we'll get her to a medical facility in the next day. And he goes, Justin Long's like, well, he starts reflecting. He's like, I did this. I'm a bad person. Maybe I'm a bad person. Maybe I'm a good person who just made a horrible mistake. Oh, maybe I'm just a bad person. And you realize he's not talking about Tess. He's talking about the actress that he freaking raped. So while he's like, look, we can wait till tomorrow. He goes, why? We can't wait till tomorrow. He goes, look, I've been here for 15 years. She's never gotten in here ever. And boom, right away she smashes through the wall, rips his arm off. So obviously she has some sort of like super strength of some sorts. She rips his arm off and beats him with it. They try to get away. Actually, Justin Long just leaves. He leaves Tess gunshot. They try to get away. And then he's like, come on. Like they're together. They climb up this giant water tower to the top. And she follows. He drops his gun. She follows him all the way up there. And like the whole time, she's referenced the baby. Like Tess is the baby, and she wants him to be the baby. But she thinks of Tess as her baby. She drank the milk, and she kind of pet her before and said, baby. So the dude, Justin Long, takes her and goes, go get your baby, and pushes her. Basically pushes her so she slides off the water tower, starts falling. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is how she dies. You look over, and the mother jumped over too, caught her, got under her, saved her. Well, you don't know that at the time. So Justin Long comes down, and he's like, you're alive. Thank goodness you're alive. The mother gets up one more time, grabs Justin Long, pokes his eyes out with his fingers, and rips his head apart. And then she's very nice to she goes, baby. You know, she's like, she kisses her and touches her forehead. And she wants to bring her back, but she's like, I can't go back. And then she, it's such a great little ending, the way the punch you get, because there's these needle drops, they call it in the movie biz, where you got one with Justin Long in the water, but you got the Asia one in 1982, and then you get this one because she picks up the gun that was on the ground, puts it right up to the mother's face, and she has no idea what to make of it. You pulls the trigger, the gun goes off, and then it says written and directed by, and Be My Little Baby starts playing. And it was like, whoa, because she wanted her to be the little baby. And it showed her, I mean, they cut back to between credits and Tess getting up and dragging herself away. Now, I want to know if she ever got the job. But what a movie. I loved the direction of it. I loved the suspense of it. I loved the turns it took where you went this way and that way. Like, my belief of this going in was, and it was on Barbary Lane. So is that Barbarian? Barbarian. And I guess the Barbarian is the guy who, he's a barbarian who did all these terrible things. So my belief was that this was a house and there was some crazy shit going in the basement, which technically is kind of what it was. But I thought someone was held hostage down there. I just thought, they were going to find something bad or some sort of cult or something like that. I did not, I completely was spoiler free as to what it actually was. And even to today, I was, I went on IMDb, but I didn't want to look up photos. So I have to get ready and put up the images now. And do my image now. So I didn't want to look up any images because I thought it might spoil me, and it probably would have. This movie freaked me out. It scared me. It went, it made me jump, but it also had me smiling at certain things just because it went in directions I wasn't expecting. It went in bonkers area. Like, all of a sudden, we're just following Justin Long around. Like, what? And until he gets to the house. It's like, it was just such a unique way of doing it. And, it just was... I can't say enough good things about it. I enjoyed it very much so. And I look forward to seeing what else this guy does in the future. I don't even know I'm sure there's little things, trivia things I want to read that I don't know anything about, things I've missed. But Very enjoyable. Very, very enjoyable. And that's it. I think I'm going to drink a little diet ginger ale. I'm going to get this picture up. I'm going to get this podcast up. And I will see you tomorrow. Barbarian. Boom. Awesome. Which I hope you obviously knew already about it. Otherwise, I spoiled you. So 18 days in the books, right? I have tomorrow off. Today was great. Father's Day. Ran a few errands. Took my dog for a couple walks. My dog got me a Beagle shirt. It says Beagle Dad. When I took my mother-in-law this morning, I was wearing the shirt. I said, "Look at the shirt. Hagen got it for me." That's, obviously my wife got it for me. Come on. I'm not crazy. I mean, I assume. Yeah, because Hagen doesn't have her own Amazon account. That's crazy. I go, look, and the bee was covered in my, like, I had a sweatshirt on because it's a little cold, even though it's June. And my mother-in-law goes, "What is Eagle Dad?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I literally said, "It's Beagle Dad. What are you talking about?" I snapped at her, but in a funny way. I was like, "It's Beagle Dad." She goes, "I didn't see the bee." I go, "There's a giant dog on my sweatshirt." She goes, "I didn't know. I didn't even realize it." So, hilarious. Hilarity ensued. Anyway, so I did spend time with Mother today, mother-in-law. Then grilled for my dad. Had a really nice Father's Day with him. And if you go on any of my Instagrams, actually it was at my other Instagram. Not my Geek. You know what? It wasn't on my Geek Mentality Instagram, but you could find, if you follow me on the other Instagram, you can see a picture of me and my old man. Anyway, the point is, I had a really nice day, and I had a little strawberry pie afterwards, and then I watched my movie, and then all of a sudden someone's lighting off fireworks, and my dog gets nervous. I'm like, "Kidding me? Fireworks in June in Massachusetts? Curse you." Anyway, now I'm done. I wonder if this is going to be another one where Chris thinks I sound drunk, or I'm just trying to race the clock. So, I'm done now. I'm finishing. And I'm going to get everything up as soon as I possibly can, because it's 10:49 right now. So listen, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Mastodon.social at Geek Mentality. The Facebook page is Fans.Experts, and the website is fansnotexperts.com. I have tomorrow off tomorrow. So I have Monday off because my work is closed for Juneteenth. So I'm going to be watching my movie early. Then I'm back to work on Tuesday. Then I'm on vacation for the rest of movie month. So getting movies out and going to the theater, hopefully more, will be a possibility. But that's another day. Today is done. I will see you tomorrow. But until then, once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. This is my announcer voice, and here is my theme song.
This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe, 'cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.